Okay, this is Lab09 of Unit 4. If I show how Lab09 is working first, when I run, I should have like blank on the top label. Then there are total 18 boxes. Their names are input, JText field type. Then when I randomize, I should get each random integer between 1 and 4. Then total score is the sum of all those values. Whole in 1 is counting how many ones. So there's in the whole 5, whole 12, whole 16 has a 1. So there are total 3 ones. Then hardest to whole is maximum value, but very first maximum value. In this case, maximum value is 4. So you are going to find the very first row, first whole number, which has that maximum value. So when I randomize again, now whole number 8 has a maximum value. When I click hardest to whole, it should return whole number 8. One thing you need to remember is index starts from 0, but whole number starts from 1. So when you find the whole number, you are going to find the index. So actually, whole number 8's index number is 7. Then you are going to add 1 to return. Let's look at the given shellcode. Shellcode has 3 things. Then, of course, you must change the name first. So I'm going to change my name. Period information, last name, and first name. Then driver 09. So I'm going to copy this part. Then I can see any panel, any scorecard, I should have a new name. So there is a panel, so I'm going to change the file name. I do not compile yet because I have to change the panel first. So I'm going to go to the panel. Then I'm going to look at. First, I need to change any panel 09 to my period information. Any scorecard 09 to my recommended name. So scorecard also has a period information, Kim Nicole, last name, first name. If you scroll a little bit more down, there is another scorecard line around line 18, scorecard 09. Scorecard is just the object name, so you don't have to change it, but scorecard 09 is a constructor name, so you must change it to the recommended name. Then the rest of them you don't have to change, but you can see that there are 4 buttons: randomize, total score, whole in 1, hardest to whole, in order of listener 1, 2, 3, 4. So listener 1, it is reset the random, the top label to the blank, then called randomize method in the scorecard. Then if you look at the listener 2, it calls the scorecard find the total method to show on the top label. That name is output. Then listener 3 is calling scorecard find aces. So it returns how many aces, how many ones, then show on the output. That is a top label. And listener 4 is calling find the hardest to whole method and show on the output top label. So I'm done analyzing this one. Then I'm gonna go scorecard. Change the name first. Class name, constructor name. Scorecard 09 does not call any other object. Like scorecard 09 does not have a panel or driver, so you are done to changing the names. So this is a time to save first. I'm going to save as scorecard 09 as recommended name. Then I'm going to go back to the panel 09. Now I can save as, go file, save as, then recommended name. Then driver, go file, save as, then recommended name. After that, to double check if I make any mistake or not, delete the original ones. Driver 09, right click, delete. Panel 09, right click, delete. Then scorecard, delete. This is the basic one you have to do first. Now I'm going to write the code. I saw only scorecard has some blanks to fill out. Then you're gonna see when you're supposed to fill. First, JText field is the one you're supposed to work on. The name is input. This input array is already declared. and also populated and also added to the panel. So you don't need to worry about instantiate each JText field. You don't need to worry about adding to the panel. It's already done. What you can use from now is only modifier and accessor method. So remember that you can use only getText and setText method from input. Randomize. You can use for loop. Then you can go through everything. So I need to go to the input.length. X++. Then I'm going to give a new value to each one. That means I need to put input x dot set text. Then you are going to give the value. That text gets only string, so you are going to use a double quote. Then we want to get only integer value, so you can use a casting integer for the random value. Now find the total. This one returns integer. Then that integer is total. So I'm going to make total variable. Then you are going to make for loop. Now you are going to add all the values. Only one problem is input is a JText field, so you have to convert to the integer first. So I'm going to use integer dot parse int, then input x dot get text. Finally, this is a return method, so you have to return total. Find they said you need to return integer. So whenever you have a return method, it is a return method, which is return integer. So one good habit is make the return variable to return. Then at the end, return that variable. This is one good habit. Make a variable, then return that variable. Now I need to count it. Actually, my to return variable is a counter, so I'm gonna just say count. Then I'm gonna use a for loop. I'm going to count if my current value is 1. There are two ways. You can change it to integer, or you can just compare as it as a string. So this time I'm going to use as it as a string input. So input x dot get text. If this one is string equals, because it's a string, I need to use equals method 1. You can change it to integer, or you can just use it as a string. So either way, it's okay. Then count plus plus, and return. Now, how about hardest whole? I need to find the maximum index, so I'm going to make max index. Then I know I need to return max index plus 1, not itself, because the whole number is 1 bigger than index number. Then I'm gonna go through. So I'm going to have a for loop again. Then compare. Compare with the current one. Oh, max index is already 0, so I can start my x from 1. Then I'm going to compare the max index and current one. So current one is input x that get text. Actually, this time I would like to compare as integer. So integer dot parse int input x dot get text. Then another one is input max index dot get text. So by using the room number, I'm going to compare the values. So integer dot parseInt input max index instead of x, max index dot get text. So I have two values here. One is from room X, the other one is from room max index. Then if current room is bigger, I'm going to update the max index room number to X. Then finally, if max index is not updated, we are going to return max index plus 1.